Welcome, Bitcoin fam, to the #1 Bitcoin pod, Bitcoin Vegas conference happening right now. I know Max Kaiser is speaking. Michael Saylor is going to be hitting the stage today. Lots of insights and highlights of what's going on in Vegas. We'll also be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis with 120,000 in play. Trump Jr., Eric Trump, says 0.1 Bitcoin is going to be worth an absolute fortune. Couldn't agree more. Shout out to the high priest. He's calling for the global bond apocalypse now. Also, Eric Adams calls for Bitcoin bond in New York City and an end to the state bit license. Also, VP JD Vance urges the Bitcoin community to embrace politics. Interesting. Also, Arcam claims to have found 87% of strategies Bitcoin stash. We'll also be discussing breaking news. Pakistan announces a Bitcoin strategic reserve. This was one of the big announcements yesterday on stage. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin analyst says the Bitcoin price peak between 220 and 330 range, still possible and in play. Also, Adam Back presents Blockstream's Bitcoin first infrastructure vision at Bitcoin 2025. He's calling for a $1 million Bitcoin price action. I'll be breaking down his timeline. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, right here in today's pod. If you're new to the channel, important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto newsletters every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode number 2006. I'm your host, JV. It's May 29, 2025, the final day of the Bitcoin Vegas conference. I'll be sharing all the highlights and everything you need to know, all the bullishness and everything in between. Let's kick it off with our market watch. The market did pull back yesterday and today. We're currently sitting just above 106. At the time of the live stream, oh no, down 0.9% on the day. What should we do? Ether took a step back. It did have a big pump yesterday. Today, it's still 1.2% in the green, trading in the 26 hundo range. XRP in a green. And let's actually check out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 3.36 trillion. The all-time high is 3.75 trillion. We're not too far off. The Bitcoin market cap today, ironic enough, is 2.1 trillion. You know, that sexy 21 number with the biddy. You already know that's a blackjack, baby. And yeah, let's actually check out the dominance. Went back on the decline, 62.7%. Ether dominance, a bit of a rise, I guess, taking that of the Bitcoin market cap. And yeah, checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got DEXY up 12%, followed by SPX up 6%, followed by Zcash just shy of 5%, but the bulk of the market obviously correcting and in the red, as we can see outlined here. Pulling up crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective. Let's start on the daily. And safe to say 60-40 red over green. Zooming out for the weekly, 80-20 red over green. And zooming out for the monthly, I'd say 70-30 green over red. And checking out the infamous crypto greed and fear index today, we're 74 greed. Yesterday, 71. Last week at 72. And last month, 60 in greed. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. As of today, we have 151,080 blocks until the halving of 2028. We're on block height number 898,920, fast approaching 7-digit territory here. And as of today, you can exchange one fiat monopoly Tulip Mania dollar for 944 sats, which means pick up the sats, put down the gats, pick up some Bitcoin caps. From my man Sergio, cop yourself a custom CNA Biddy exclusive, just like this. Let's continue. We do got a lot to share, familam. We're going to transition into our TA, aka astrology for the baddies. And we'll also be pulling up the live charts. Headline reads, Bitcoin 120 epic mic drop rally set. After the U.S. court blocks the Trump tariffs, what is the U.S. courts thinking? How dare they go against our POTUS? But anyways, Hundel said the decision would have a domino effect on the Biddy price, believing new all-time highs are imminent. I repeat, imminent. The momentum is largely irreversible at this stage. Take that, bears. Bitcoin's current all-time high is 112, according to the Coinbase, reached on May 22nd, 7 days ago precisely. That's right. The Trump admin reportedly filed an appeal to the court's decision, and Hundel said that regardless of whether it presents new justification on the tariffs, the market sentiment has already changed. Here's one thing I know for certain. You can't tariff the Biddy. You can't tariff the Biddy or the Nippy. Nippinator goes up forever along with the Bitcoin. It's just the way it is. Deal with it. It blows a hole in the trade talks either way you slice the pie. The pumpkin pie, not the pizza pie. No Pizzagate here, no Diddy. And that means we're likely to witness a significant repositioning of the market. Precisely. On April 2nd, Trump signed the infamous executive order and claimed an emergency power, levying so-called reciprocal tariffs on every country, starting with 10%, and even hit China with a 50% tariff. Take that, China. Trump's initial tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, introduced in early February, the best month of the year, I dare say, were widely seen as the primary catalyst behind the Bitcoin falling below 100 G's. Oh no, end of the world. But guess what? We just hit 112. Take that, Peter Schiff. The trade war likely delayed a meaningful greed rally. You damn greedy mofos. But it didn't bury it. The trend is higher. According to the BitMEX founder, Arthur Hayes just blazed. Happy 420. Buy everything round DOS Yahtzee, mofos. Quoting the great crypto analyst Bitcoin Ranchy. I despise ranch dressing. I hope they didn't name them after the ranch dressing, but I digress. Trump tariffs are illegal. Does that mean we get the green candles all around? Why not? Green candles? You get a green candle. You get a Lambo. It's like sending biddies on the Oprah show back in her prime, when she was linking up with Diddy doing those rounds at the Diddy parties. But I digress. Hundle said the wall of money is coming into the Biddy through the corporation. Spot Bitcoin ETFs on retail. The trading week ended May 23rd, saw the U.S.-based spot ETFs record a total of $2.75 billion, ultimately meaning the inflows are back. Like the Backstreet Boys. We've never left the stadium. We're still right here, guys. The court accelerated the rotation into risk assets across the U.S. and Asia. He added that the data signals a solid floor for the demand on the spot Bitcoin and very solid consensus for 120. I'm also thinking 120 the most logical target this upcoming month of June, as we put a bow on May. Let me know if you agree with that. And then we have the Standard Chartered head of global, Geoff Kendrick, not to be confused with Kendrick Lamar. Wop. JB messed him up. But he's expecting Bitcoin to hit 120 for the first half of 2025 and route to 200,000 by the year end. And FYI, BlackRock is the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered. And if you don't know, maybe now you do. And check this out. Yesterday, Eric Trump said 0.1 Bitcoin is going to be worth an absolute fortune. Let me know if you are a 0.1 Bitcoiner, which at today's price is less than 10,000. It may transform your financial landscape for the rest of your world and for your children's children. There's just no telling, because with a constipated Binance Janet Yellen, Bitcoin's going up forever, Laura. And quoting the high priest, there's a global bond apocalypse occurring. Interest on the UK government debt looks ready to break out to the upside. No different with the Japanese government debt. Brace for the crash of the British pound. Hedge against that crash with Bitcoin, the greatest hedge, I dare say. And let's pull up some of the live charts. We'll do a little live chart action. Jackson Satisfaction, old school Bo Jackson, Tony Braxton for the baddies, of course. And again, welcome everyone joining us this fantastical day. But let's transition a bit here. You should be able to see on your screen live chart daily. We're going to zoom it into the hourly, and then we'll work our way back. This is brought to you via TradingView, via Coinbase. Why Coinbase, JB? Well, it's the largest exchange in the U.S., and I would dare say the majority of the people in the U.S. are using Coinbase for convenience, and that's why we're using it for the charts. But anyways, you can see on the hourly chart, we do have that bull target back in play of 116.3. It is a bullish pennant. You can see we are green overall thus far for the past hour, but we did have a steep correction here this morning, and we're starting to pump back. Is the bottom in for the day, or will we correct even lower? You let me know. Your guess is as good as Peter Schiff's. And zooming out from there, and Jim Cramer, in which is the only one qualified to give us financial advice, and everything you hear in the stream, no financial advice, because my name's not Jim Cramer. However, if you're seeking financial advice, Jim Cramer is completely qualified by the U.S. government to give you that financial advice you're not seeking. Ironic, isn't it? But anyways, check this out. The 4-hour chart also shows a green bull scenario, bullish pennant sensation. That's right. 116.3 in play right now with the rising wedgie, the only wedgie I approve of. And zooming out from the 4-hour, we'll check out the 1 day, and then the 1 week, and then the 1 month. And the daily thus far, corrective. It's been corrective past couple of days. Obviously, last week we hit the top, current all-time high, 112 price discovery. No particular bull scenarios on the daily chart, so we're going to skip the bearish shenanigans, you know what I mean? Save that for the shiffinator. And checking out another rising wedgie weekly chart. And the significance here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green consecutive candles thus far. Obviously, we're towards the end of the week now. There's a red forming, but it's still early. So maybe we'll get our 8th green consecutive weekly close, which I don't think we've ever seen since the inception of the Genesis block. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall ever seeing 8 consecutive green weekly candle closes. But then again, this is unprecedented time, unprecedented institutional FOMO like a mofo, I dare say, and zooming out from there. And we also have the 124,000 sexy cup and handle target in play each and every day. Bitcoin Super Saiyans reunite. I was watching Dragon Ball last night, just FYI. But anyways, on the monthly chart, we're back in a green for the month of April and the month of May. And will the bullish momentum continue until the month of June? You guys let me know, and I'll read your comments out loud. Again, welcome everyone to the live show. I appreciate you guys. Next story of the day, we did the TA. Next up, we're going to discuss NYC bit bonds, as per Mayor Adams, who was the mayor of New York, and he spoke actually yesterday at the conference. Here's the headline: Eric Adams calls for Bitcoin bond and NYC and an end to the state bit license. Okay. New York City Mayor Mr. Adams says he'll ensure a Bitcoin bond is launched in the city and renewed his call to axe New York's bit license program. Speaking at the Bitcoin 2025 conference, Adams pledged to advocate for the support and creation of municipal bonds backed by the Biddy. Quoting him here, "We have financial instruments for all other bonds. You can have tax-exempt bonds and other bonds. It is the first time in history of the city we have a financial instrument that is made for those who are holders of the Bitcoin. I believe we need to have a bit bond, and I'm going to push to fight to get the bit bond to New York so you can do those same bond investments in New York City." Obviously, New York's on like its whole other category of bullshit when it comes to like regulation and stuff. So a lot of like pro-crypto things have always been banned or unable to do in New York, so he looks like he's trying to change it. Adams didn't share the details about how the bit bond would work. However, a March 31st policy brief paper from the advocacy group Bitcoin Policy Institute proposed a model where the holders receive an annual interest rate of 1% for 10 years. When the bond matures, holders also receive a percentage of any of the Bitcoin market gains. At the same time, 90% of the funds raised through the bonds are allocated to government spending, while 10% is used to purchase Bitcoin, according to the Bitcoin Policy Institute's bond policy brief. Adams also called for repealing New York's bit license program, which the state launched in 2015, requiring crypto businesses to apply for a license with the New York Department of Financial Services and meet strict compliance standards. The bit license program has received criticism from the industry, and Adams also said the measure is too costly with the high licensing fees, and it is too stringent with the anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and know your customer measures we know as KYC. Quoting him here, "You have a mayor who is the crypto mayor, is the Bitcoin mayor, and I want to back the city of New York where you won't be attacked and criminalized. Let's get rid of the Biddy license and allow us to have the free flow of Bitcoin in our city. Can I get an amen? No diddy." USDC stablecoin issuer Circle, the one we don't like, was one of the first crypto companies to receive the bit license. Others since followed, including crypto exchange Coinbase trading firm Bakkt. Adams has also actively pushed to attract crypto firms to NYC as part of the most recent effort. Adams told the inaugural New York City Crypto Summit on May 20th he was creating a digital advisory council to attract jobs and investments. Meanwhile, May 12th, Adams announced financial services company Figure and private equity firm Traction and Scale would be assisting the city into the crypto efforts. And if you don't know now, you know. Well, here's the latest with JD Vance, our VP of the United States of America. He was the keynote speaker yesterday at the conference. Mr. JD Vance urges Bitcoin community to embrace politics. United States, JD took the stage to deliver the keynote address at the Bitcoin 2024 Vegas conference, encouraging Bitcoiners to deepen their involvement in politics. Vance highlighted the strategic and geopolitical importance of the Biddy, emphasizing the U.S. should maintain leadership at the crypto industry to remain competitive in the age of digital finance. Vance also shared with the audience, what happens in the world of politics, what happens in the world of bureaucracy will affect even the most transformational and valuable technology technologies if we don't make the right decisions. The first thing that I would ask you is to take the momentum of your political involvement in 2024 and carry it forward to 2026 and beyond. Don't ignore politics, because I guarantee you, my friends, politics is not going to ignore this community. Not now, not in the future. And that's directly coming from JD, not JV, just for clarity. Bitcoin continues to gain institutional, JV says, fuck politics, but hey, that's just me. Institutional legitimacy has also been elevated to an asset class with macroeconomic geopolitical importance. Market analysts and Bitcoin advocates warn that the global race to acquire Bitcoin is underway between the sovereign powers. Meanwhile, Bitcoin maxis and market analysts argue that high-stakes game theory compels nations to adopt Bitcoin precisely. Hence, we just got the country of Pakistan announcing adopting a Bitcoin strategic reserve. We got Conor McGregor proposing for a Ireland Bitcoin strategic reserve. Shout out Conor. And you already know, shout out Bukele, the first ones to do it big in Bitcoin country. Due to the downside of opportunity cost of not adopting the scarce digital asset as the sovereign competitors do, meaning you adopt it or you get left behind. This alleged nation state fear of missing out. This is state level FOMO like a mofo, was amplified by the U.S. President Trump pro-crypto stance, including the creation of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve and the Crypto Advisory Council led by Nipponator. The regulatory shift of the U.S. prompted other governments to indicate a possible policy reset on cryptos and Biddy. The government of India, for example, is reconsidering its crypto policies. In response to a regulatory change of the U.S.'s India's Economic Affairs Secretary, AJ, said digital assets do not care about the borders. That's right, Biddy's borderless. Unlike the fiat, unlike the gold, and the rest of the commodities that are wannabe biddies, take that. And there you have it, coming directly from JD Vance. Next story of the day, yo. Here's the latest with the Microstrategy. As you know, Saylor, a few days back, was asked about the proof of reserves, and he ultimately said, I think it's a bad idea. It's a security risk. Ironic enough, Jack Mallers' company says the opposite. They're going to be showing their proof of reserves. Well, here, Arkham claims to have found 87% of Strategy's Bitcoin. If you're not familiar with Arkham, it's an intelligence firm, so more than likely they did find it. Blockchain Arkham claims to have uncovered previously undisclosed wallet addresses tied to Strategies, potentially exposing billions of Bitcoin holdings. In a post referencing the Strategy co-founder, executive chair Saylor's commitment to privacy, Arkham claimed that it had identified an additional 70,800 Bitcoin linked to Strategy B, and at the current price, this stash is roughly $7.6 billion. Arkham said the newly identified wallets bring Strategy's total identified holdings to $54.5 billion. If accurate, the findings suggest Arkham has mapped out most of the company's stash, making it the first entity to publicly associate the wallets with the firm. Now, Saylor said he would never reveal his addresses. So we did, Arkham wrote, adding that the amount represents 87% of the total Bitcoin holding Strategy. Does that mean 12.5% is missing or just uncovered? What are your thoughts? Arkham and Strategy obviously didn't respond for commenting, but nonetheless, this is what they shared. Arkham, we tag 107,000 Bitcoin sent from MSTR Fidelity deposits. And then it says over 327,000 Bitcoin held in segregated custody, including Coinbase Prime being the primary custodian. They're also the primary custodian of most of the ETF issuers like BlackRock, etc. Arkham claims follow comments from Saylor about the risk of publishing the wallet addresses. At the conference, Saylor said publishing wallet addresses is dangerous. Call me Danger JV. For companies holding the Biddy. Jack Mahler says, fuck the bullshit. We're sharing the proof of reserves. No institutional grade or enterprise security analyst would think it's a good idea to publish all of the wallet addresses such that you can be tracked back and forth. So is he just paranoid? He's speaking at 420 today. You tell me. The executive said making wallets public allows every future transaction to be scrutinized. There's truth to that, but who cares if you're doing everything by the book and not doing anything illegal? You understand? Like, that's the whole point of the blockchain. Exposing a company to risk that may not be immediately apparent. Well, allegedly now Arkham has done the good deed. To highlight his point, Saylor suggests using AI to explore the issue. Fuck AI. Saylor said, if a user puts AI in deep think mode and asks about the security problems associated with publishing wallet addresses, the executive said the response could get 50 pages of security problems. Why don't you just give us the top problem? Because to me, it just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. You tell me though, guys, what do you think with all this? And while the blockchain data is publicly available, the accuracy of claims related to the wallet ownership have been questioned before. At the height of the Mantra token collapse, Mantra CEO denied accusations of insiders dumping their token. The executive accused Arkham of mislabeling the wallets and identified as belonging to the insiders. But anyways, next story of the day. Yo, keep the comments coming. Let's freaking go. Next story headline reads, Pakistan announces the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Major news. I repeat, major news. Bilal, head of the Pakistan Crypto Council. I didn't even know Pakistan had a crypto council. Let's go, Pakistan. Announced May 28th, the country is moving to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's right. Speaking at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, he said the government of Pakistan followed the U.S.'s lead, established the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and is currently embracing pro-crypto regulatory policies. The government official told the audience, we made Gary Gensler, the chairman. I'm just joking. Today is a very historic day. Today, I announced the Pakistan government is setting up its own government-led Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and we want to thank the United States of America again because we were inspired by them. So trendsetter Trumpster did his thing, signing the executive order for the U.S., and now other countries, domino effect, dominoes are falling. The announcement represents a significant departure from the government of Pakistan's previous stance on crypto, holding crypto would never be legal in the country. So they did once say that. Now they're eating their own words. Never trust lizard folk to begin with, and you would have never believed that. But anyways, Pakistan's shift reflects the broader trend of the nation states adopting pro-crypto policies to regulatory shift to Washington. Under President Trump administration, this was that guy, Bilal, speaking on behalf of Pakistan at the conference, making the big announcements. The Pakistan government first explored the idea of a national crypto council in February 2025 to oversee the development of a comprehensive regulatory framework for crypto to attract foreign investment. Several initiatives were proposed by the council, including using runoff energy to mine Bitcoin. You know what's interesting? Acronym for BTC, obviously it stands for Bitcoin, but it can also stand for Bitcoin Treasury Country. A Bitcoin Treasury Country, BTC. Dude, holy shit. Now, in May of 2025, the council announced the allocation of 2,000 megawatts of excess energy to Bitcoin mining and high-performance computing data centers. Meanwhile, co-founder CZ is one of the council advisors. Shout out CZ, doing it big. Appointed in April, the executive will advise on crypto regulations, and he is maybe the richest in crypto, I dare say. Maybe minus a couple of incognito folks not on paper, maybe like Max or like Satoshi or something like that. Blockchain infrastructure and the adoption of the digital assets. Meanwhile, Trump's World Financial Decentralized Protocol signed the letter of intent to help the country tokenize real world assets, built DeFi architecture, and experiment with a crypto product. And more recently, Pakistan's Ministry of Finance commissioned the establishment of the entirely new agency to oversee the digital asset regulation in Pakistan. The Digital Asset Authority will oversee the regulation of the crypto platform and issue licenses to the digital asset providers operating in the country. And if you don't know, what are you doing with your life? I mean, come on now. Now for our feature story of the day. Bitcoin OG Adam Back presents Blockstream's Bitcoin First Infrastructure Vision at Bitcoin 2025. He was one of the main speakers yesterday. He also shared his target when he personally feels Bitcoin had hit 1 million per coin. So we're going to break this baby down. And there's another headline here. Adam Back predicts when Bitcoin will reach 1 milli, the epic 7-figure milestone, which is practically a 10x from here. So let's break her down, shall we? Adam Back, co-founder and CEO of Blockstream, the Bitty OG, took the stage at the Bitty conference with a clear message. Bitcoin is becoming the foundation of the global finance, and Blockstream is building the infrastructure to support it. Amen. Quoting him again. So I think Bitcoin is still early. Back began, but more mainstream players are starting to become involved. It is starting to become the foundation of global finance. From El Salvador's President Bukele becoming patient zero to institutional adoption spreading rapidly. Back emphasized that the people in all the layers of the company management and politics have been orange pilled. That's right, including the entire Trump family. You had Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, both big Bitcoin advocates that firmly believe in Bitcoin, talking about right now there's 50 million Bitcoiners in the US. We're about to double that number to 100 million, and also said 0.1 Bitcoin can make you ultimately rich. So imagine that. So we couldn't get a more bullish, group in our government right now, which is great. And citing Bitcoin's accelerating growth trajectory, Back referenced Hal Finney, the legend, prediction that Bitcoin addressable market could hit 200 trillion. And as of today, we're only, 2 trillion? So game on. Today, we're a lot closer to that situation, he noted. He alluded again that this is just the beginning. Bring it. To meet the growing demand, Back announced Blockstream's plan to support the journey from 100 million to a billion users, which ultimately a 10x in users. By simplifying self-custody, to me, it's already simple. I don't know how much more simpler it can get. You just buy a cold wallet for like $50 and you hold your own private keys, nacho cheese. Broski, please. And Bitcoin native asset management. We are laser focused on the bitty. At Blockstream, we're here to provide the infrastructure to enable it. That's what's up. In a detailed presentation, Back outlined the 5 core pillars powering the Blockstream strategy. And breaking her down here, infrastructure expansion. Bitcoin is becoming the dominant financial asset and platform for global transactions. Blockstream enables and supports the infrastructure around it. Unified platform. Blockstream's developing one platform built for the Bitcoin economy, including consumer products, secure self-custody, and enterprise solutions, asset transfer on Bitcoin rails, and institutional integration custody for the large-scale investment. The Blockstream app, designed to streamline self-custody. The app simplifies onboarding, supports the Biddy, Lightning Biddy, and USDT, and offers advanced features for experienced users, enterprise tools with custody tokenization without smart contract risk, the SDK API-ready infrastructure. Blockstream's pushing enterprise-grade Bitcoin use cases from corporate finance to treasuries, security, and ecosystem design, secure, proven, built to last. Back said, referring to the Blockstream Bitcoin first architecture, security is our cornerstone, and every product connects to every layer. In closing, Back reaffirmed his long-term vision: the future of finance runs on Bitcoin. And now a little deeper into some of the targets, and depending upon which interview you listen to, I know recently on stage he said Bitcoin likely to hit 1 million within the next 5 years. I've also heard interviews of him saying Bitcoin could even hit $1 million this cycle, with the USA jumping in. And here he breaks it down a little deeper, so I want to discuss this. When Alex Thorne, firm-wide research lead of Galaxy Digital, asked Back where he sees the Bitcoin price in the next 5 years, the Blockstream CEO did not hesitate and responded, 1 million easy. I dare say 1 million easy peasy. The Bitcoin OG, who is one of the few names mentioned in Bitcoin's white paper written by Satoshi, predicted that the pioneering crypto would reach 1 million specifically within the next 5 years. Interestingly, this uptrend would see Bitcoin rally 826% roughly from the current price. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the OG. Notably, other respondents to Thorne's question to the conference in Vegas predicted a milder target. Managing partner of Pantera Capital, Dan Moorhead, says 750 G's. While CEO of CIO of the 10T Holdings, Dan Tapiero, projects 1 million over the next 10 years. Why so bearish, Dan? Meanwhile, Back emphasized the Bitcoin hard money property is attracting every institution that comes in contact with. He suggested nation states and large-scale firms are beginning to take the orange pill, evident in the growing adoption seen today, evident in the frickin' 30,000 people in Vegas celebrating the Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And interestingly, $1 million Bitcoin prediction is becoming a popular outlook. We also have the Binance co-founder, CZ, projecting Bitcoin reaching 1 million this bull cycle. Also, we have Jan 3 founder Sam Mao projecting Bitcoin hitting 1 million this cycle. We also have Bitcoin OG Max Kaiser, who spoke at the conference on stage today, projecting Bitcoin hitting 2.2 million this cycle. Potentially anything is possible. Bitcoin has no top. Fiat has no bottom. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod exclusively on the Rumble. Click the link in the description, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, and let's get ready to rumble.